Evolution is one of the most powerful and illuminating ideas ever conceived. It is the grand story of life on our planet, a narrative that stretches back billions of years into the deep past. It explains how the seemingly endless variety of living things we see around us came to be. From the smallest microbe, invisible to the naked eye, to the immense blue whale that roams the oceans, every single organism is a product of this extraordinary process. Evolution is not merely a theory, it is the fundamental organizing principle of all biology, the very lens through which we can begin to comprehend the intricate connections that bind all life together in a single, magnificent tapestry. Imagine walking through a dense ancient forest. You see towering trees, delicate ferns unfurling on the forest floor, colorful fungi clinging to decaying logs, and hear the distant calls of unseen birds. Each of these creatures is perfectly suited to its environment, possessing unique features that allow it to thrive. Evolution is the process that has sculpted these features over immense spans of time. It is a story of constant change, of adaptation and of survival. It reveals that life is not static but dynamic, a continuous flow of transformation where species arise, flourish, and sometimes fade away into history, leaving their mark on the generations that follow. The world we see today on this day, July 28, 2025, is but a single snapshot in the epic film of life. The creatures we share this planet with are the current actors on a stage that has seen countless acts before. To understand evolution is to gain a profound sense of perspective, to appreciate that every living thing holds within its very DNA a history book of its ancestors' struggles and triumphs. This process, slow and patient, has crafted the sharp talons of an eagle, the intricate camouflage of a stick insect, and the vibrant petals of a flower designed to attract a specific pollinator. It is a masterpiece of creation, painted on the vast canvas of geological time. This journey of discovery begins with a simple yet profound observation. Life changes. Fossils of strange and wonderful creatures, unlike anything alive today, tell us of worlds that have long since vanished. The continents themselves have drifted, climates have shifted, and through it all, life has responded with remarkable resilience and creativity. By studying the living world and the echoes of the past preserved in stone, we can piece together this incredible story. It is a story that connects us to every other living being, reminding us that we are all part of a single, sprawling family tree, a testament to the enduring power of evolution. At the very heart of the theory of evolution lies a truly astonishing idea. All life on Earth is related. If we could trace our own lineage back far enough, and the lineage of a soaring albatross, a giant redwood tree, or even the humble bacterium in the soil, we would find that all our paths eventually converge. We would arrive at a single common ancestor that lived billions of years ago. This concept of common descent means that the diversity of life is not a collection of separate, unrelated creations, but rather the result of one ancestral form branching out over eons, diversifying into the millions of species we see today. This shared heritage is not just a fanciful idea, it is written into the very fabric of our being. The evidence is all around us and within us. For instance, the bone structure in a human arm is remarkably similar to that of a bat's wing, a whale's flipper, and a dog's leg. Though these limbs are used for vastly different purposes, for grasping, flying, swimming and running, they are all built from the same fundamental set of bones. This is because we all inherited this basic blueprint from a common ancestor that lived hundreds of millions of years ago. It is a powerful reminder of our shared past and our deep connection to the animal kingdom. Furthermore, the genetic code itself, the language of DNA, is universal. The same molecular instructions that build a human being are also used to build a mushroom, a fish, or a fly. This shared genetic language is one of the most compelling pieces of evidence for common ancestry. It suggests that this fundamental operating system for life was established very early in its history and has been passed down through all its descendants. We can even compare the DNA sequences of different species to see how closely they are related, creating a detailed family tree of life that confirms the patterns we first observed in anatomy and the fossil record. This concept radically changes how we view our place in the natural world. We are not separate from it, but an integral part of it. The bird in the sky and the fish in the sea are our distant cousins. This understanding fosters a sense of kinship with all living things and a deep appreciation for the intricate web of relationships that evolution has woven over countless millennia. Every species represents a unique evolutionary journey, a successful branch on the great tree of life, and each one holds clues to our own origins and the history of our planet. It is a humbling and awe-inspiring realization. If all life shares a common ancestor, how did it become so wonderfully diverse? The primary mechanism driving this incredible transformation is a process called natural selection. It can be understood through 4 simple, observable principles. The first is variation. If you look at any group of living things, even siblings from the same parents, you will see that they are not identical. There are subtle differences in their size, color, strength, or behavior. This natural variation is the essential raw material upon which evolution works. Without these differences, there would be nothing for nature to select from, and life would never change. The second principle is inheritance. These variations are not random occurrences in each generation. They are passed down from parents to their offspring through genes. A giraffe with a slightly longer neck than its peers is likely to have offspring with similarly long necks. A beetle with a slightly thicker shell will probably produce young with thicker shells. This passing of traits from one generation to the next is crucial. It ensures that advantageous characteristics, those that help an organism survive and thrive, can persist and spread throughout a population over time, forming the basis for evolutionary adaptation. The third element is overproduction, or what can be called the struggle for existence. In the natural world, most species produce far more offspring than can possibly survive to adulthood. A single codfish can lay millions of eggs, and an oak tree can produce thousands of acorns in its lifetime. However, the resources in any given environment, food, water, and space, are limited. This leads to intense competition for survival. Not every seed will become a tree, and not every hatchling will live to reproduce. This reality sets the stage for the final and most critical step in the process. This leads us to the fourth principle, differential survival and reproduction. Because of the variation among individuals and the intense competition for resources, some individuals will have traits that give them a slight edge. They might be better at finding food, faster at escaping predators, or more resistant to disease. These individuals are more likely to survive longer and, crucially, to have more offspring. Over many generations, the advantageous traits that help them succeed become more and more common in the population, while less advantageous traits become rarer. This is the essence of natural selection. Nature selects for the individuals best suited to their environment. The process of natural selection, acting on variation over vast stretches of time, is the sculptor of life's diversity. It is a slow, gradual, and unguided process. There is no predetermined goal or endpoint. Evolution simply responds to the ever-changing conditions of the environment. A trait that is advantageous in one setting might be a disadvantage in another. For example, the thick white fur of a polar bear provides excellent camouflage and insulation in the Arctic, but it would be a deadly liability in a tropical jungle. This constant interplay between organisms and their environment is what drives the creation of new adaptations and eventually new species. Consider the simple example of giraffes. In an ancestral population, there would have been variation in neck length. Those individuals with slightly longer necks may have been able to reach leaves that others could not, especially during times of food scarcity. This small advantage meant they were better fed, healthier, and more likely to produce offspring who inherited their longer necks. Over countless generations of this selective pressure, the average neck length of the population gradually increased, leading to the magnificent long-necked animals we see today. This is not a story of a giraffe striving to stretch its neck, but of natural selection favoring those that were, by chance, born with a genetic advantage. This same process has played out millions of times in millions of different ways, all across the globe. It has equipped cheetahs with the speed to catch gazelles, and in turn has favored gazelles with the agility to escape. It has produced flowers with shapes and colors that perfectly attract their specific pollinators, and pollinators with mouthparts perfectly suited to sipping nectar from those flowers. This co-evolutionary dance, where species influence each other's evolutionary paths, adds another layer of complexity and beauty to the story of life. It is a relentless creative force that fills every available niche with life. From the deepest ocean trenches to the highest mountain peaks, evolution has generated a world of endless forms, each one a testament to the power of this simple yet profound process. The breathtaking diversity of life on Earth is not an accident. It is the inevitable result of variation, inheritance, and the constant struggle for survival playing out over geological time. Understanding evolution gives us a deeper appreciation for the fragility and interconnectedness of our planet's ecosystems. It is the story of where we came from, how we are connected to everything else, and the incredible, ongoing journey of life itself.